Everywhere I go, the children rise. Everywhere I go, the children rise. I saw them just rise up, the wicked running. I saw them just rise up, the wicked running. Equal rights and justice, and I defend. We won't run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. We won't run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. If you go in America, if you go in Canada, if you go in Africa, I saw them just rise up, the wicked road. I saw them just rise up, the wicked road. I saw them just rise up, the wicked road. We won't run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. We won't run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Rolling to the people, the fire burn them, wicked, wicked people, the fire burn them, wicked, wicked men, the fire burn them, wicked, wicked friend, fire burn on the wicked, burn along them, the fire burn them, wicked, wicked country, the fire burn the wicked, wicked town, the fire burn them, wicked, wicked city, fire burn on the wicked, burn them. When it's impossible to see what's become of our people in their life, we do with so much evil. We will wobble, a triple ton and trouble them. Sell them soldiers to work for the devil. But judges say, judgment will soon come when the balls of our son and once again go tumbling down there. Beautiful Nash, people them are more with judge you pour out his rocks with fire and bring soul. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked people then. The fire burn the wicked, wicked men. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked friend. Fire burn down the wicked, burn down all of them. They say the fire burn the wicked, wicked country. The fire burn the wicked, wicked town. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked city. Fire burn down the wicked, burn on Babylon. You know the people them must suffer and the whole of it and bleed while you spread your lies and propaganda, sow your bloody seed. The children working, the fingers to the bone while you pay all the money to some pretty face without a clothes. And your day will come, it will come. Just say when you bang the hills for cover, but the hills will run away. When we listen, when we learn, it been too late to have forgiveness when you will begin to burn. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked people. Then the fire burn the wicked, wicked men. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked friend. Fire burn down the wicked, burn down all of them. And the arrow pressing, we shall overcome, but certain nations out instead. I give a little and even shed it, yes. Easy said it now, but daughters for some butter or the bread. The fathers giving their lives off the sun, doing battle for the devil, warring for the wicked one. You might think this is just another song, but the blood you spit, you calling out along a long way. Yeah. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked people. Then the fire burn the wicked, wicked men. The fire burn them, wicked, wicked friend. Fire burn down the wicked, burn down all of them. They say fire burn them, wicked. wicked, wicked people. Let the fire burn. The wicked, wicked men. The fire burn. The wicked, wicked friends. Fire burn down. Burn down.
I want to say shalom and blessings to all my brothers and sisters, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Elohim and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all Elohim blessed forever. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, the sustainer of all things. All praises, honor, and glory to his Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, whom the world knows as Jesus the Christ, not that other Jesus, but the Yahushua HaMashiach of the Bible, the one who sacrificed his life, laid down his life for the sins of his people and for the redemption of his people. And all praise, honor, and glory to the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Spirit of truth and comfort, the one and only divine Elohim, from our great forefathers, from Adam to the patriarchs, to the prophets, to the apostles, and to the scattered abroad, which includes us. I want to say shalom and blessings to everybody in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. And I want to welcome you to this fellowship tonight. We're going to be dealing with the issue of witchcraft. This will actually be part 2. And before we get into it, I want to say shalom and blessings to all my brothers, Salt of the Earth brothers. Hope y'all doing well. I want to say shalom and blessings to our brother Apostle Curtis Lewis from Someone Cares Ministries. Hope he's doing well. Shalom and blessings to brother Shofar, Jacob's people. Shalom and blessings to everybody. Hope y'all doing well. We're gonna get into part 2 of this, but before we do, I want to greet the chat. We have the brother Elijah Yashara, the Mighty Lion. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you reaching out to me via email. Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Got my brother in the truth, brother Jason Phillip. What's going on, brother Jason? Hope you're doing well. As always, good to see you in the chat. Got the brother Jason Camphor in the chat. Shalom and blessings, brother Jason. Good to see you as well, as always. Got Mikael Yasharel. Shalom to you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for fellowshipping with us. Hope all is well. Got brother Jabroni. Shalom and blessings to the brother Jabroni. Hope you're doing well. Got them eyeballs in the chat. Peeping the scene. As always, good to see you, bro. Got brother Smitty. What's going on, brother Smitty? Good to see you in the chat, bro. As always, I'm gonna have to catch up with you on a couple of things too. But as always, you know how it is. Good to see you, bro. Got brother Tasi rolling out there in the Philippines. Shalom and blessings to the brother Tasi. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe out there. Hope all is well with you. You're in our prayers, as well as our brother Ralph and the sister Paula. Where were they? I think they were in St. Lucia now. Hope they doing well. Hope I don't know if they listening in, but hope they doing well. Got Up Next. Shalom to Up Next. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Got my love in the chat as always. It's good to see you in the chat. Got T Brown. Shalom and blessings to T Brown. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. There he is. My brother Daweed the recruiter. What's going on, bro? Glad you can make it in. I might have to put the link out there for you. if you want to chime in. But it's a blessing, man. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got part of the royal family of the Most High. Shalom and blessings to you. Good to see you in the chat as well, sis. Glad you could chime in with us. Sister Yvette Rivera. Shalom and blessings to you, Sister Yvette, as always. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you had a blessed day. Sister CC. Shalom and blessings, Sister CC. Hope all is well. Hope your family's doing well. Good to see you in the chat. Got Fatima, Yahudim, Shah, Yasharel. Shalom and blessings. And y'all better be glad I can read a little bit. And I'm familiar with some of these names. I'm used to this, but y'all tough with these names. But this is what the Most High said it would be in the last days. We would be surnaming ourselves. Good to see you in the chat, Sister Fatima. As always, hope you're doing well. Look like that's everybody so far. And to everybody who's listening in, shalom and blessings to you. Hope all is well. Glad you could fellowship with us. Since we're going to be dealing with the topic of witchcraft this evening, I want to open up with a passage. This is a passage that we open up with a lot. But this is a passage that we bring out a lot, and this is Psalms 109. Let me do this real quick. Chime my brother in, brother Yash. What's going on, brother Yash?
All right, now shalom, shalom.
Yep.
Glad to be here.
How's it going, bro?
Oh, it's going all right. It's going all right.
Yep. I'm gonna open up with this passage in Psalms 109 real quick, and then when we come back, I'm gonna let you get warmed up a little bit, give some thoughts and everything like that. This is Psalms 109. As you can see, I have verses 17 through 19 highlighted. However, because those are the verses that I want to kind of focus on, so I don't want to read this whole thing, but I encourage everybody, especially our people, to go and visit Psalms 109 from a prophetic perspective, because we know that a lot of prophecy is written in the Psalms. But I want to start at around verse 11. It says, "Let the extortioner catch all that he had, and let the strangers spoil his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Let his posterity be cut off, and the generation following, let their name be blotted out. Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with Yahweh, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before Yahweh continually, that he may be cut off, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the brokenhearted. As he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing, like as with a garment, so let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones." 19. It says, "Let it be unto him as a garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girded continually." We visited this passage multiple times, and what we've concluded is that this is speaking of the end time. So the long and the short of it is, everything that our enemies have perpetuated against us, from the brutality, the physical brutality to the spiritual things, because the Bible tells us that it's spiritual wickedness in high places. And we know that in these high places, most of our enemies reside. And this is where a lot of the directive come from in terms of how they want to deal with us. It's from the top. You know, we know that they're worshiping entities and things like that. They have different forms of worships and belief, you know. And to give a hint, the Most High said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And so who do the wicked serve? They serve Satan, the devil. And so this is where they're getting their instruction to do us the way that they're doing. And I highlighted 3 verses in particular dealing with the cursing, the curses on our people. We're going to take a look at something here shortly, but I'm going to pass it over to my brother Yashadiq and let him get warmed up and give some thoughts on tonight's topic.
Yeah, shalom, man. I love every time we come to this passage. But I'm just going to get right to it, man. You know, I'm going to even start with verse 10. You know what I'm saying? These are the positions that they have all us in. Yet they don't even show no mercy, have no mercy, don't even take no accountability for it. I was just looking at something, I think you put it up, Brother E, on Facebook, where the girl, she was being sarcastic, but she was talking about when black children are adopted by white families, and the experiences that there's a few people, the experiences that they go through, and how they get uprooted and moved into these all white neighborhoods, and they're subjected to this passive aggressive racism. And when they go and try to explain to their parents are totally dismissive of it. So these people, these children, our children, are being abused at levels that we couldn't even imagine. Yet and still, they seem as if these white families adopt these children, and just because they got a little money, we think that they're better off, and don't even realize that no, they use their money to put you into a higher place of persecution. So let his children continually be vagabonds and beg, because that's where they want. You know, that's ain't that what they want for us?
Yep.
Let them seek their bread also out of their desolated places, because that's how they look at us.
Yep.
Let the extortioner catch all that he have, and let the strangers spoil his labor. I see what the psalmist seen. The Most High prophetically let him see the positions that we were going to be placed in. And David rightly said, turn this back around on them. You know what I'm saying? Let there be none to extend mercy unto him. You know, how many times, how many people out there in the family, in the chat, and greetings to all y'all out there, have been faced in situations where you might have made a mistake. You might have been young, and you was looking. I've seen children make their mistake 12 years old, get, you know, I know there's one kid, he was 12 years old, got attacked by, you might as well say, a grown white man. And because he gave the grown white man, this little kid, a black eye, they gave him like 8 years. Messed his life up forever. He couldn't. I mean, he back on track now, but now the brother about 50, in and out of jail. You know what I mean? No, show you no mercy whatsoever. So let there be no mercy extended unto him, leaving that there be any favor to his fatherless children. They delight to talk about how our children are fatherless. Yet in the 90s, you went up there, our so-called president now, called called them what? Predators or what do you say they were without mercy, without conscience, and it's them. Let his posterity be cut off. In the generation following, let their name please be blotted out. Didn't they blot out our name? Now they got our own people fighting against us when the Most High is bringing to light who we are as a people. Families fighting against you. Friends fighting against you. Everything. You know?
Yep.
Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Most High, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out, because it takes two. They have to be in agreement to keep us under. And they say we have Christianity, so we can continually oppress, we can continually slay, we can continually murder, rape, abuse, and ask forgiveness, and everything gonna be all right in the sweet by and by. Because he remembered not to show mercy. Persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. They get all kinds of passes for what they do. I was watching Lisa Cabrera, the nurse. She was all meffed out looking, lips all cracked, face looking like she had needles all in it. I mean, and she went up there and messed around, went to the people's house all meffed out and killed their baby. And it's like, and she said one thing that was right. She said if a black woman came in looking like that, they wouldn't even have let her in the house. No background check, no nothing. Anyway, y'all, you get my point.
Right.
You know, the point is, this is where we're at even to this day. Even though we do see daylight now. We see them coming at each other's throat. We see the daylight. It's coming. Our deliverance soon come. But at the same time, rather than us sitting over here trying to save these people, you know, we let them, you know, they had a saying, kill them all, let God sort about. You know, I'm not saying let's do that. I'm not recommending that. But I'm just saying, leave that in the area of the Most High. But the time for these, oh, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, is over with. I think they've proven time and time again that they do know what they do. I'm gonna yield right there.
Yep. And just to touch on what you mentioned about them adopting black kids, I don't agree with that myself. You know, a lot of horrific stories about black kids getting adopted, you know, by other races of people. you know, particularly the white race. And, you know, it's a bad deal. You have some cases where it's not like that, not to try to single every situation out, but in any case, you know, none of us are learning the truth of who we are in these situations, you know. And when you look at the overall outcome, sometimes, you know, or oftentimes rather, it does end up in a negative way, you know, but that's neither here nor there. I remember I played a video once of our people in Mexico, you know, how they have the Negro Mexicans, and how outside of the areas where the Negro Mexicans live, they have the the natives or the regulars from Mexico. They come outside of the regions where our people are, and they do what's called devil's dance rituals. And, you know, out of ignorance, of course, our people are joining in because all they see is a festival and a good time. But they don't know that these are the so-called Mexicans, the people that we say are Israelites, you know, doing these things to our people, you know. And so this is just a small example of what's happening in terms of the curses that's happening on our people. I want to share something real quick just to get us going into this topic. This is well, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. I want to share this, and this is an example of the overall aspect of how people have been deceived in this nation through their sorceries and through their witchcrafts, you know. And it reveals in a lot of ways, a lot of simple ways, the things that we've been separated from and what that has caused. But check this out.
It's funny how the sounds on these videos are always taken off. Let me tell you what she's doing. She went back and did her research because she is a black woman who went back and I mean down to the presidents using the N-word and everything of the Democratic Party. They're going to take the sound off because she educated herself. Let me tell you people something y'all do not know. They are scared of y'all, the black community. Y'all single-handedly own the power and you can't even see it.
All right, see, I'm not even acting right. See? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reshare that, but what I want to do real quick, because it slipped my mind. I need to do this. Fair Use Act disclaimer. This site is for educational purposes only. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Now, I know some of y'all probably irritated by that, trust me, but you know, if y'all seen and had to deal with some of the stuff we had to deal with, you would understand. You know, being flagged and emailed about, you know, vaguely doing stuff that you're not even really doing and having your videos blocked, you know. But now that we got that over, I'm gonna run it back a little bit and we're gonna continue and let this play out.
Hey, you people something y'all do not know. They are scared of y'all. The black community. Y'all single-handedly own the power and you can't even see it. The Democrats are so terrified that y'all are going to wake up and see their shit and they're going to lose their power. They know that y'all single-handedly hold the cards to all of this shit in this nation.
Oh yeah, I forgot, y'all. Forgive me about the language, but we all adults, and this doesn't represent the integrity or the character of what we do on this platform. This is why this is under fair use. But I'm gonna let it play out some more, and then I'm gonna bring the brother Bunya in.
God, please just wake up and see what kind of control you actually have. If you really want to get technical, y'all are the ones that can save this country. Because
Now keep that in mind as well. One of the points we've heard oftentimes made on this platform is that they need our energy, they need our power, they need our prayers. You know, so keep that in mind.
the minute that y'all actually see through their bullshit is when they lose their wealth. Talk about white privilege. They will lose their wealth. They bank on y'all. They bank on y'all. The president, oh God, what was his name? He was the president. Oh, I should have found that information. He said, we will have the N. He used the N word. Their vote for the next 200 years, so we got it. They bank on y'all remaining stagnant with their bullshit. I can't wait to see this shit unfold because I'm going to tell you, there's one by one, they're waking up. Y'all better get ready. One by one, they're waking up to rich man's bullshit. And they're seeing and they're standing their ground. And once they lose the black vote, it's on like a Donkey Kong.
Like a Donkey Kong. It used to just be its own like Donkey Kong. But what y'all brothers think? What's going on, brother Bunya?
Yo, shalom, bro.
Shalom. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I just got home for lunch and had to fix my glasses. My glasses broke. Fill me in. What exactly she's talking about? Black people waking up to the politicians' bullcrap.
Right. And using that just as a stepping stone, dealing with the issue of witchcraft and how our people are deceived on a national level.
Mm-hmm.
Want to get your thoughts on that and just on the overall topic of witchcraft.
Oh yeah, man. It's definitely some level of mind control going on, and enchantment going on, with politics, with religion, to use subliminal messages and program your mind, to use TV to set the narrative in your psyche, So it's witchcraft all around. Witches exist, warlocks, and typically when people think about these things, they think about Ouija boards and somebody stirring a big pot with toad's legs and raven's eyes in it. But witchcraft is far beyond that. It's mind control. It's using images and subliminal messages to program you. It's seeking falling information from fallen entities on regards to how to keep you stagnant.
Yep. That's That's what I believe Psalms 109 sort of alludes to. We opened up with that. Um, let me let you get a look at the highlighted part of that, of what we was dealing with. It says in Psalms 109:17, as he loved cursing, so let it come unto him. As he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing, like as with the garment, like as with his garment, so let it come into his bowels, like water and like oil into his bones. Let it be unto him as the garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girded continually. That's what we opened up with. And so the video, what she's doing is just talking about how one political party, through their deception, have secured the so-called black vote, you know. So basically they've controlled the fate and destiny of our people for many years under this affliction that we under. And we know that they have a lot of ways of doing it. We're gonna touch on some other stuff too. But what's your thoughts on that?
I believe that they do that not only to us, but even to their own people, because there are people who actually believe that this political process that they go through is a democracy, and that they actually have a choice. They actually really believe that. And I was saying at one point, I don't know if it was last year or this year, but I was saying that if we would just stop voting, just bow out of it altogether, everybody would see just how much of a lie it is, you know. Because what happens is they're gonna choose whoever they're gonna choose for president, governor, who whatever have you, right? They're gonna choose whoever they want to choose, but they use certain narratives to try to blame it on our people. You know, when we take part in that process, and then somebody comes up that's definitely someone that just, you know, a piece of garbage, and not doing what people say or expected him to do. They always point out the black people voted for him, you know. So we need to really just get out of that, you know. Besides that, these are not even one of our brethren in the first place. The scripture said, "Don't set no other nation over you," you know. And once we understand that, we should stop taking part in that process of being a part of, you know, putting other people over us. And not only that, that wasn't even the main criteria. The main criteria was dealing with someone who was righteous and one who had a visible record of being a servant of the Most High. You know, these people don't serve the Most High; they serve Satan. You know, they serve the enemy. They serve demonic forces and spiritual wickedness in high places. So taking part of the process, you know, and saying to yourself, and I hear it said a lot, you know, the lesser of two evils you choosing, you still willing to choose evil though. And that's the problem, you know. So our people have the ability to wake up from certain things that's being programmed in them, but they don't want to because they want to be a part of this system. A vast majority of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's a major component as well, you know, how people want to be a part of this system. Any thoughts on that, brother Yash?
Yeah, and it's because they have us so divided. And I deliberately left out that cursing part too. But one of the main curses or that keep us under is their money. If you got a dollar bill in your house somewhere, that's the way they keep you blinded with all their symbols and all their curses written over their money. You got some change, it's written on their quarters. It's written on everything. So we're walking around carrying this, and they know that all they have to do is offer it to those of our people who they choose, and and it looks as if we're getting somewhere, but we're getting nowhere. They, in other words, we always are happy as long as we got a face. We think we made some daggone progress. Like when their sister, they just did the daggone Kajanji Brown for the Supreme Court. Like we got somewhere. Um, Homegirl, who's the vice president, with all kinds of dysfunction going around just because she got some beige brown colored skin, you know. We think we got somewhere.
Yeah.
And we have to get nation and people minded. That's why it's imperative that we cry out to the Most High for our deliverance, because we can't think straight over here. And we'll be, and they know. Oh, that was Lyndon Johnson who said he'll have us down for the next 3 years or whatever, 300 years or whatever the hell. And they know they got us. You know, they got us because they keep us in the state of begging for a crumb here and a crumb there, and as long as we get a face, we think we're getting somewhere.
You know what I wonder? Why? Why do we think we're getting somewhere based off of that? Why do you think that's the narrative?
Because we stiff necked.
We are headed.
We hard headed. And no, you know why? Because we've never been anywhere. And they've got us in a position where we can't even imagine ourselves in any type of control, because they beat us down with their educational system from day one when we got here. And we beat them. Actually, we were the ones who really started free education. They kept their people poor. They kept their people uneducated. But when we got out of slavery, those of us who learned to read started educating ourselves. And they got jealous and they copied what we did. And that's how they got their public education school system. But I don't want to. So, why am I there?
I'm about to say something controversial, bro.
Okay, go ahead, my man. We need it.
Please don't get mad at me. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the family. Kanye West made a statement about us being here for 400 years. He said we chose to be here. We chose to go through this. He said 400 years, and it's all of y'all, right? And I actually, I believe that's true. I believe that our forefathers had a choice. The Most High put a choice before them. We can read it. He said, I set before you this day life and death. Choose life. And our forefathers chose death.
Right.
And that's what we continue to choose.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna say not because we don't have the ability to be successful, but we keep on thinking we gonna do it without the Most High. Mm. We got examples throughout history where our people was prosperous and it fell, right? Black Wall Street fell. Black Panthers fell. Every movement we had fell
Mm-hmm.
because it was not backed by the Most High. So I'm saying we have the ability to be just as successful. The only difference between us and everybody else is their God is backing them.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
The guys that they got their guys backing them. Everybody coming in this country and their aspirations to do whatever they do is the same as ours,
Mm.
right? They seen the same thing we seen. We ain't missing nothing. Our
Mm-mm.
intelligence ain't too short to see how to be entrepreneurs and successful people in whatever we do. We have the ability to do all those things and more, but it won't stand without the Most High.
Amen.
Hmm.
So that's where we're falling at, because we have a heritage and we have laws and statutes that's supposed to be governing our thought process when we get into certain things like this political agendas that we see being pushed out here. We supposed to see clear through that. Everybody else outside of us, they seek their own gods in regards to that. That's why when you go to certain places, they got Chinatowns. They got places where you go and it's their community there, and they set up there because they not seeking nobody else's gods. They coming together and they praying towards whatever they believe,
Mm-hmm.
whatever entity they believe in. We don't do that. We go to everybody else's. We want to be a part of the Christianity God. We want to be a part of Islam God. We want to be a part of Buddhism God, Hinduism God. We want to be a part of everybody else. Pardon me.
And that's true. And it also goes to, he said, who shepherds pity them not. And I was gonna bring up with when W.E.B. Du Bois brought up about his talented tenth theory. And because he had some, they gave him some kind of college education, and he proposed the fact saying like 10% of our people were good and were to be chosen to, and that's some boule BS, to lead the 90%. And we've been led astray because they sold us out, just like they've been selling us out all since the days of the Maccabees and even before. And I believe the same leaders that sell us out is the children who sold of the leaders who sold us out in the past.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would say they're more tight knit than what we realize.
Yeah, their game is tight.
They actually groom people to be in those positions. So I
Yeah.
can see that. Yep. Don't wanna don't want a NGR slipping up in there.
Really, really. And then when we get one, everyone fights against them. And now the new weapon is is the women. Use all the no offense, ladies. Give give all the women, the black women, a high position, uh which ties her to the white man rather than her own man. You know what I mean? This is what it is,
Yeah.
because she knows that in order, just like our rich athletes and our politicians, everyone knows this. When they get whatever kind of accolade in life that they're looking for, or position of authority, power, money, whatever they're looking for, very few can turn down and fight against the agenda that they know is against us.
Right.
Very few can.
Yep. And
Status.
this awakening is not isolated, it's scattered, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And by the grace of the Most High, you know, it'll continue to grow by his bidding. But what you I want to show some videos, a couple of videos on this Roe versus Wade deal. Give me a second, y'all. Because we're talking about witchcraft, and some might say, you know, how does that play into the topic? We discussed yesterday the political ploy behind this move and how it's a preservation tactic. But
Hey, I'm sorry, bro.
go ahead.
Hey, I gotta go, man.
Okay.
And I want to say shalom and blessings, bro. I'll be listening in.
All
Yep.
right. Shalom.
Thanks for your input, Bell.
Oh, much love, brother. You brothers have an awesome day, man. And
All
love,
right.
peace, and blessing to the chat. All right, shalom and blessings, bro.
Shalom.
Shalom.
But a lot of people may have heard the issue of abortion or seen it as a means of worship in this nation. All right, I'm gonna just keep it simple like that. But when you're looking at the issue of witchcraft, this is how it plays into it. Because when you look at the nations from earlier, from ancient times, they did this as a means of worship to prosper their nation. So the more people that yielded to it, or I'm not going to even say prosper their nation, but they did it as a means to gain power. All right, and the people at the top, they want power as a means of making the overall nation powerful under their umbrella. You know, they're going to control everything, but they want all the power. And we know that there are spirits appointed over the nations. And so the spirits that they worship, in order to gain the favor of those spirits, they have to do the will of those spirits. And that's one of them, you know, according to our research and our study. And so that plays a lot, that plays a major role into this issue as well, because when you're not, and this goes for anybody, no matter what your belief is, when you don't serve your authority, you don't get any power. All right. And understand what I'm saying by that. I'm not giving them any power or authority over the Most High, anything like that. But if you don't serve your power, you don't gain any advantage or any benefit. And it's the same with our Elohim. He told our people if they didn't serve him with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, that they would serve their enemies in nakedness and want and in hunger of all, well, in nakedness and hunger and in want of all things. And they will put a yoke around your neck. So what we're going through today is a result of us not doing what the Most High told us to do, speaking of our forefathers, and even today. And so I want to share something real quick. This is a video Shout out to the brother Shamaria Bun Yahawada. He's from the brothers over at the Torah group. He shared this to my group, and so I'm gonna share it with the family. We still under fair use.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed, as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story.
You were raped while you were in Georgia?
No, I wasn't.
You were not?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, so all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They're not true.
Right.
And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took with her into the baptismal pool.
I've cheated people out of money. I've sold drugs. I was an abusive alcoholic for many, many years. I've done a lot against his teachings. But I think the far greater sin that I did was to be the plaintiff in Roe versus Wade.
So that video is dealing actually with the main culprit behind that case. And I don't think I'm old enough to remember that, but I have heard about it. And so she claimed to have been raped, and turns out that wasn't the case. All right. And her main role in it was to be a decoy to actively support abortion. And we saw that she was getting baptized, acknowledging what she did and going to the baptismal pool, but I want to get your thoughts on that, Brother Yash, because that plays a role into what we see happening today. A lot of people are behind this, and that's a source, turns out, to show that is basically disingenuous, the motive behind it, and even people today. But what you think?
Well, I remember in Christianity, this is a part that I hate, but hey, time for a confession. Okay. Our churches, back when they had the Million Man March, and I was thinking about this today earlier, as a matter of fact, back when they had the Million Man March, I remember, there was a division among the black churches, and I happened to be among the black church that had white members, so the pastor was caping hard for us not to go. So I got cheated out of that one because the brothers was trying to get me to go, but I was too much of a Christian to go and didn't want to join myself with my own people, my own brethren who I loved, because I was convinced that it was because it was led by a Muslim anyway, yada, yada, yada. So I didn't go.
Under Muslim leadership. I know what you mean.
So, but maybe a couple months right after that, Christianity, the white man's always copying what we doing. They had a million supposed to be Christian march, and I went to DC then, and she was there, and she was on the steps of the mall or monument, someplace praying, repenting. We was all cheering and all this other stuff.
You talking about the lady in the video here?
Yeah, the lady in the video.
Okay.
I heard that confession back then, back in the 90s, after they Swagger Jack, the Million Man March, Christianity did, you know, and but at the end of the day, it was all about blood sacrifice. And so they used, and you got to, and so they had to use someone who was innocent at the time to perform. It was nothing but a ritual. But the Most High, and this is part of him turning our captivity right before our eyes, because what they used to keep that going, they've always used a lie of they put out these numbers saying blacks were disproportionately the main ones of abortion. But shoot, every hood I've been in, I seen everybody pregnant. I mean, people did. I know people was getting abortions, but the numbers I knew really weren't as high as they see. And now we see. I was watching Lisa Cabrera, as a matter of fact, today, and she was talking about it. Maybe she did it yesterday, but I seen it today, and she was saying how they were fighting, the white women fighting. They don't want to have their kids.
Yeah.
So the Most High is exposing all their wickedness.
Yeah.
And it's about time that we got to come up out of this. You know, I think we're starting to wake up slowly but surely, but we got to stop fighting their battles. Because there's no more. We started it off with the video. She said about black people don't know their power. I tell you what, the Most High has taken away that power that we did have, which that they was able to use to get us, you know, whatever they was using to get us to fight against their battle. The Most High is taking that power away. It ain't working no more for them. Nothing they do, nothing that they're doing is working for them. And it's not going to stop this awakening, what's going down.
The brother Jabroni say, you know how you just said that they don't want their babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, but they want to adopt ours.
Yeah. Yeah. So that they can traumatize them, make them gay, or try to make them as a benefit to their system, or in-house slaves, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of that's going on down here.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of cases of that.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, you know, and even hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sister, only by his grace, say, Shalom family, have you seen the video of MAGA lady thanking the government for overturning that to preserve white life? Yep. Matter of fact, that's that's what I'm gonna share now. We're gonna take a look at that. But it's this video clip right here. This is actually a what is this? A TikTok screen. And hold on. Which one is it? Not that one. I need to share the other one. Hold on.
I think that was it.
Yeah, but the way it is, when I click on it, it that's the one. Okay. This the one. All right, I'm just gonna play this and then we can hear the speech. We're still under fair use. I'm gonna let this play out.
On behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday.
I said it before, damn. If you thought they was pro-life, you really been programmed. What's going on, honestly? The race losing their place as the majority. I'll uncover. 60% of abortions is from women, not of color. Preservation of a race. That's why the first place is banning abortions, southern states. Man, have a look at the start of Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sangers felt eugenics could bring improvement, brung birth control to stop us from reproducing. Do your research. Don't cower. They want us ghosts. This is about power. And remember, they ain't worrying about our seeds. They planting a seed for their agenda.
So she say, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank Donald Trump for preserving white life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the brother just go in on the end and just eat it up. But this is part of what we've known, in terms of the preservation tactic. We've known for many years about the population issue. As a matter of fact, I've seen videos that go back as far as the early '90s with what was that sister, the elder sister, Frances Cress Wilson.
Oh yeah.
She used to really speak on that issue a lot of the population, issue, and how they trying to systematically work through that. And so this was a major play, but it also stops, a major part of what they do is worship in the background, in the back scenes. Who was that? Let me see. Debbie Holmes said that is only temporary. They eat and sell the fetus body parts. Yeah, could be, but how long would it take? How many years would it take, for it to come back up for them population wise? When you look at a lot of stuff about them not being able to have children, they have a lot of abortions. That's because they represent the majority, so that, as well as the culture, the lifestyle, and everything, hand in hand, that we can see how that would happen. But what's your thoughts, bro? Shalom, brother Kadar. I see you in the chat.
And see, that was the stuff that they used to use to keep us in fear. Statements like that. Thank you for preserving white life. And our people, they use statements like that uh, to get us to side with them. See, everything is witchcraft. Even that statement. That lady could have been a witch. Donald Trump up there standing up there looking like a tight-lipped tangerine. But the, the point is,
man, don't get us in trouble, man.
Even all that, everything is. I'm starting to. I got to look at everything as some kind of a ritual, and they get in there, and now you sit over here. Our people sit over here. Now instead of it's us, it's black and brown. You know what I mean? We got the black and brown coalition, and we sitting over here fighting for uh gay rights. I thank the Most High that He took one fight off the table. We still out there doing this, but you got some of our people over there fighting this battle. But shoot, you lost. You lost. You know, and they already have made a stand by them coming up there fighting. They already made a stand and said, we're going to kill our own children. He told us what? We was going to eat our children in the siege. Well, guess what? It's their siege now.
Yep. It's tragic. But I posted a question earlier. I said, should we as a people be preparing to go through what the other nations or what's meant for them, or should we be preparing to lead mentally, spiritually, physically? What should we be preparing for, and what scriptures or what records do we have to validate that? You saw that?
Yeah, I did. I said leave. Because, okay, you want some scriptures. I'm going to give you one right off the top. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go right here, right now. This is my favorite. Okay, well. Hold up. Let me just do this. Get out of here. Okay. Right here. Give me a second. I'm in Isaiah. I think it's 60. I think it's 50 something, where he says, right here. Isaiah 65, 13. It says, I'm going to start with 11. But ye, what's up, little man? Yeah? Okay. But anyway, let me read this real quick. Then you can chill. It says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose therein wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Most High, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. My servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Most High, Elohim, shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name, that he who blessed himself in the earth shall bless himself in the Elohim of truth, and he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the Elohim of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. Can I get an amen and a hallelujah? That's amen. Isaiah 56.
Isaiah 56.
56. I mean 65. Dang. I'm dyslexic.
I should have told you to share it on the screen.
Oh yeah. Verse 11 to 16.
Yeah, I forget my my background noise. I'm around my people. You know how that is. Listening to the oldest songs they can listen to. So y'all forgive that. Let me pull up 2nd Esdras chapter 2. 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and 24. Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness still come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. Right? You were just speaking on reading that in Isaiah 65 about the servants, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahweh. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. All right. So I'm really questioning, should we be prepping for the things that everybody say prep for? You know, and this is not to be dismissive of anything, but we have a lot of hope in the scriptures. You know, Brother Yash just quoted some things in Isaiah 65. Then we have this passage among many others, Jeremiah 30. It is a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? So you got a lot of things like that to take into consideration. But I want to take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk some about this divine feminine. We did a video before and brought out some things, but what we're gonna do tonight is address the divine feminine from the black man's perspective, or from a male perspective overall, and try to get an understanding of what that's all about. And also I want to get some of you brothers and sisters' thoughts in the chat on what the divine feminine is, what it means, what you know about it, you know, just giving your thoughts in general. All right, so we're going to take a break. When I come back, we're going to get into it. I want to say shalom to everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for fellowshipping with us. Shalom to my brother Yash, to my brother Bunya, and all my other Salt of the Earth brothers. I'll be right back.
Lord, I must take this opportunity to be honest with both you and me, because that's the only way to be. Because I know I fell short of who you are to me. And back then I was too far to see, but now I gotta return through the lessons that I've learned. Because you're so merciful and patient, and in your holiness is the place to be. Because my hope is built on my faith in you. Will you rescue me? Will you allow me to be close to you? I really want out of this condition, but I know before I climb up, I must climb out.
God, I know your will, so please forgive the doubt and pain that I feel. I know that you're real. The way you hold me up, you've got to be real. You even helped me pay all these monopoly bills. Still, you let me do my thing without stopping my thrills. And that's a blessed thing because monotony kills. I cruise across the world in the chocolate Deville, so I know it's cold in Toronto when it's hot in Brazil. They say the thirst of curiosity is not to be filled. So help me to conceal what's not to reveal. I send my praise to the spirit that's on top of the hill. Cause I know who the owner of this this property is. I'm trying to stay away from reasons for my clock to refill, and I create a moment for the clock to be still. What religion didn't kill, philology will. Somehow I still eat the same fruit that got me this deal. This hell is too hot to be still. My urge is real hasty. I'm reaching for your hands, but just by chance you might embrace me. You said you'd always take me in so greatly, I believe you. If I could just convince my second nature to be equal. My crazy ways got me going your way on my time. Somehow my spirit wanna fight with my mind. So if you pass me up, then please rewind. Dear Lord, just don't leave me behind, cause I ain't dying. I'm so afraid to come back in. By chance I might stray again. How did I get here? I loved you so many times before. Who's to say that I deserve one more? Is there one more for me? I never meant to depart from you, but it became so easy to do. How could I do it if my will gets out of line? And I'm running out of time. Will you take me back? I leave the ground slightly. They want to take me down. But if they hate me now, they never did like me. They wish they did like me. They probably want to fight me or make a phone call for the feds to indict me. Cause they can't see the favor or even taste the flavor. They can't embrace the savior. Such blatant misbehavior, so obvious in measure. Even still they pleasure, enough to steal the pressure. Still I feel the blessing. Maintain my righteous gesture amidst the world of shame. They want to claim the fame, but won't respect the name. That's kind of hard to change. Been wrong for so long, but my love is strong. That's why it's your song. I need your mighty will to rest my soul on. This time in life is real. I gotta hold on like a rose grown from concrete. Can I enter heaven's gates if I was raised in the streets? I was so afraid to come back in. By chance I might stray again. I left you so many times before. Who's to say that I deserve one more? I never meant to depart from you, but it became so easy to do. If my wheel gets out of line and I'm running out of time, will you take me back? So afraid to come back in. By chance I might stray again. I left you so many times before. Who's to say that I deserve one more? I never meant to depart from you, but it became so easy to do. If my wheel gets out of line and I'm running out of time, will you take me back?
God, I realize that most of us on the street probably a little too hard to make these type of confessions. But I must say I'm here with no other choice, and I'll do it here in your space, my space, anybody's space, just to say, Lord, I appreciate it, and I hope that you'll take me back.
I'm gonna keep on keeping on and tell the whole world how I feel. This word, this place, this rhyme, this time I'm free in my mind for real. I'm not concerned with illusion. Growing up I had to learn from confusion, but that's done now, I'm on this track. Confessing you're the one saying, Lord, will you take me back? I'm gonna keep on keeping on and tell the whole world how I feel. This word, this place, this rhyme, this time I'm free in my mind for real. I'm not concerned with illusion. Growing up I had to learn from confusion, but that's done now, I'm on this track. Confessing you're the one saying, Lord, will you take me back? I was so afraid to come back in. By chance I might stray again. I left you so many times before. Who's to say that I deserve one more? I never meant to depart from you, but it became so easy to do. If my will gets out of line and I'm running out of time, will you take me back? Will you? I give my best and my most to you because I want to be close to you, and I know that's what I'm supposed to do. If I left you once, 2 times, or maybe a few, would you take me back? Take me back.
And y'all know better than be asking if that was me at the end. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be able to hit a note like that. That was Brother Smitty. Shalom to the Brother Smitty for that track, as well as many other tracks that he has that we share with the family. Nah, that was Brother Smitty, Brother Tasi. I probably sound like Lou Rawls on the track or something, trying to rap. Shout out to the Brother Smitty though. Shout out to everybody who has sent music to us. If you have it, send it to us. We'll share it with the family. Want to thank everybody for that. We're gonna be dealing with witchcraft, the divine feminine. What I want to do is I want to open up with a passage. Let me get it together here. I want to go to Deuteronomy 18 and I want chapter 18. But before we do, Brother Yash, what are your thoughts on this issue of the divine feminine? We did a video once on it, defining it, giving some background on it, some location, and we showed how the enemy operates through the divine feminine. But what are your thoughts on it, if any?
I gotta really I gotta catch up because I missed that one, and I was supposed to watch it, but we threw, by the time I caught up, we threw so much other stuff. I never really got back to it. But I do know that we do have, there is a lot of there's that one scripture I think that you read to me one time about how the feminine made a place for itself.
Yeah, let me share that real quick.
Yeah, share that scripture, because that's really the root of it, and it's out of control right now. Yeah, run that one.
Text, first apocalypse of James. And like I said, we're going to be dealing with the divine feminine tonight from the male perspective. And we're going to show you what the worship of the divine feminine from the male perspective really boils down to, what it really is. But this is the first apocalypse of James. Let me get a highlighter here. It says, "It is the Lord who spoke with me. See now the completion of my redemption. I have given you a sign of these things, James, my brother. For not without reason have I called you my brother, although you are not my brother materially. And I am not ignorant concerning you, so that when I give you a sign, know and hear." So this is an account of the Mashiach speaking to James. All right. He says, "Nothing existed except him who is. He is unnameable and ineffable. I myself also am unnameable from him who is, just as I have been given a number of names. Two, from him who is. And I am before you. Since you have asked concerning femaleness, femaleness existed, but femaleness was not first, and it prepared for itself powers and gods, but it did not exist when I came forth, since I am an image of him who is. But I have brought forth the image of him, so that the sons of him who is might know what things are theirs, and what things are alien to them. Behold, I shall reveal to you everything from this mystery, for they will seize me the day after tomorrow, but my redemption will be near. All right, so what you were referring to is right up in here. He first spoke on the Father and himself, how the Father is unnameable and he himself is unnameable, having many names, right? But he says, and I am before you. Since you have asked concerning femaleness, femaleness existed, but femaleness was not first. All right, so this is dealing with when Mashiach was brought about by the Father, and he's mentioning femaleness, and he said that femaleness existed. And how did this femaleness exist? It existed in the form of the spirit of wisdom. We can read how wisdom, being a feminine spirit, was there in the beginning, all right? But it says, but femaleness was not first. And it said, and it prepared for itself powers and gods. But it did not exist when I came forth, since I am an image of him who is. So another interesting fact about femaleness is letting you know that femaleness was not first. So this is one of the main components or belief when you're dealing with the divine feminine, that the woman came first and that everything comes from the woman. The woman didn't come from the rib of a man. Then it said that it prepared for itself powers and gods. All right. So within this essence of femaleness, there's a quote unquote independence, so to speak. Right. It prepared for itself powers and gods, but it did not exist when I came forth, since I am the image of him who is. All right, you can go ahead and give your thoughts on that, bro.
It's so much in that, because it's a lot in that. It's because it shows you how femininity femininity feminine feminine female, I can't get it right, but the feminine spirit, while necessary, if left unchecked, or even if it doesn't check itself, is liable to go. I mean, it realizes no boundaries. Put it that way, and it has to check itself, because it won't allow itself to be checked, not even by the Most High itself. And that's what that thing speaks to me, because it said it prepared for its own self, its own gods. It made herself a god.
Yep, say prepare for itself powers and gods. It did not exist when I came forth. Speaking of Mashiach, he's saying when I came forth, femaleness didn't exist. All right, now I'm saying femaleness in the form of this spirit of wisdom, because when you read about wisdom, it lets you know that it's a feminine spirit, and that wisdom was there in the beginning. But he's saying that it wasn't, femaleness didn't exist, but it did not exist when I came forward. So this spirit has been around since the beginning of the creation, or even before the beginning of the creation, but we see the tendencies within that, and we see a lot of this perpetuated through our foremother Eve and the mistake that she made, you know, and how our forefather Adam followed after that, and how that reflected on humanity up to this point, right? I want to, since we dealing with this divine feminine, we're going to be dealing with it, but I want to show a video clip first. This is an old video. Some of you brothers and sisters may be aware of it, but give me 1 second. In this clip, hold on, let me mute out real quick. All right, in this clip, this is gonna give us some backdrop on the witchcraft and how there was a mass exodus. Hold on 1 second. There was a mass exit from the Christian church. A lot of sisters left the Christian church and they entered into what's known as I'm just gonna say witchcraft. I don't know exactly what they're into, but it's a form of worship that a lot of women in general are into, but particularly a lot of our sisters are into this. And so let me share my screen. And we're going to look at some of this. I want to point some things out. It's going to lead us into the male aspect of the divine feminine and how that worship is all about, or what it's all about, rather. All right, give me a second. Hold on. I can't share it like that. Give me a second, y'all. If I share it like that, I won't be able to hear it. All right, so this should do it right here. All right, can you see that, Brother Yash? You got to talk to me, bro. Am I muted up? No, I'm not. Okay, I think y'all can see that, Brother Yash. You can see that, bro? Yeah. Okay, we should be good. I'm gonna just play some of this, and then I'm gonna point some things out. Hold on. Why I'm muted? Why it's muted out? All right.
Are leaving traditional church worship. All of them. Growing numbers of African American women in Maryland and across the nation are leaving traditional church worship. All of them are in search of something else, a spiritual belief that connects them to their ancestors, where they can feel more empowered to control their own well-being. They have found it in ancient forms of spiritual contact. Some call it witchcraft, a term they accept and embrace. For most of us, this is how we worship, a tradition that predates us all. This, too, is an ancient art of worshiping, not to God, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, but to spirits and deities, span the oceans and date back to pre-slavery days in Africa. Are you, in fact, witches?
Whatever the situation calls for. So if you come to me with pleasantries, you being respectful, you'll get Glinda, the good witch of the suburbs. But if you come at me with negativity and meanness and disrespect, then you'll get Evil Wing.
All right, if y'all can hear me, I shouldn't be muted out. But let me check. Hold on. All right, I'm good on the sound. All right, I don't know if y'all can see my arrow on the screen. You should be able to see it. Hold on. But if you can see my arrow, I want y'all to look at her finger right here. All right, this look like a seashell almost from far back. And they're going to show another image or another close-up of it. And you're going to see what it looks like up close. All right. And I want you to keep this in mind, because this is going to propel us forward into the masculine aspect of the worship of the divine feminine. But keep that in mind right there.
Your worst
They have many names and titles and ranks within their belief system. They are college-educated professional women who've chosen to believe that theirs is a truer example.
All right. So right here. Well, first, before I get into this, they notice that they admit to being called witches and into witchcraft. All right. So that's not anything that they're denying. But I want y'all to look at this right here. From the chat, all right, I want somebody to put in the chat. What this symbol right here resembles in your view, all right? And when the video is done, I'm gonna look in the chat and see what y'all thoughts are. But I want y'all to look at that. Tell me what you think that looks like. All right. I'm gonna play some more.
Of worship that is inclusive of the genders. It connects them, they say, to their ancestors and fills a need not found in traditional worship, but most of them grew up in the church.
I was raised Christian, all Christians in my family. In fact, my grandfather was a preacher in the South. I also grew up Christian. I grew up Anglican in the Episcopal Church. The older I got, the more disconnect I felt. I was raised Baptist. My father is a deacon. My mom a deaconess. I was in church all the time.
These women are part of a sect, Ile Ola Apefe Osameji, spiritual temple. They worship and offer prayers to Oshun, a predominant deity.
All right, so notice that most of them have backgrounds in the Christian church. You know, one sister said her father was a pastor. You know, another sister talked about her background. So most of them come out of the Christian church. They left Christianity and went into this belief. And it's my belief that there are a lot of sisters who claim to be Israelites who are into some of these same beliefs. They operate secretly. You know, they have secret groups for women only. And in these groups, it's just more quote unquote women's empowerment. You know, preaching independence. A lot of women in these groups, you know, they ask questions about, you know, divorcing their husbands and should they do it and how can they go about it. And a lot of these sisters are encouraged in these things. But what she's going to do now is describe what this worship is really centered around. What's the core meanings or beliefs behind this worship. All right.
These women are part of a sect, Ile Ola Apefe Osameji, spiritual temple. They worship and offer prayers to Oshun, a predominant deity.
Deity or the Orisha of aesthetics, beauty, sex, sensuality.
So she said this is a god of aesthetics, beauty, sex, and spirituality. And what we're going to find out is that most of the aesthetics, the beauty, and the spirituality all revolves around sexual freedom. And this is where a major aspect of the male worship comes in of the divine feminine. All right. I still want y'all to tell me what that symbol look like. I'm gonna play this out. When I get back to the chat, I want to get some thoughts on that.
There are growing numbers of African American women who have chosen for themselves a new life, even the church in search of more meaning in their lives. And yes, it can be called witchcraft. At a recent convention in Baltimore, more than 200 witches gathered, a sisterhood. Their spells are for good, not for evil. In this ritual, the women are preparing an offering to Oshun on behalf of a woman in California who's looking for a mate. The omelet-type dish is sweetened with honey, believed to be a favorite of Oshun.
So they're doing a ritual for one of their members so that she can get a mate. All right. So they're doing a witchcraft ritual for one of their believers to get a mate or to get in a relationship with somebody. It didn't say male or female, but we can assume male, all right, just for the sake of being safe. Don't want to offend, but in any case, this is a ritual being done, all right, so that she can get a mate. All right, I'm gonna play some more. And also look at the symbol. There go the symbol again. All right.
Prayers are said over the offering and for the woman in need. A portion is offered to Eshu, the male counterpart of Oshun, and placed in a secret place beneath the stairs of this Odin home. Using shells, they ask the spirit if she is pleased. 4 shells are tossed to the floor, 2 land up, 2 land down. Balance. The gift is accepted.
She accepts it.
The traditions may seem odd to most, a mystery to some, complex and multi-layered. These daughters of the moon, followers of Oshun, women, powerful, determined, and understanding, say there is nothing to fear. They are here. They will be here for the foreseeable future. Yes, there are witches among us.
This is something that our ancestors did, and all we're doing is tapping back into it so that we can become our best selves, individually and collectively.
There's so much more to this story than our time will allow, so our conversation continues with these women, where they reveal much more to me. If you want to watch the extended interview, you can head to our website, wjg.com, to watch Behind the Lens.
So there we have it, dealing with witchcraft, you know, on a level. I don't know if it's a deep level or a minute level, but in any case, this is a lot of women have left Christianity and went into the practice of witchcraft. A lot of our sisters have. And I'm only concerned about this from that aspect because these are our people, you know, and our people shouldn't be involved in some of these things or in these things at all, you know, but we see it happening a lot on a lot of different levels. You know, those types of things are the weapons of the enemy. These are the things that our enemy uses against us on a high level. And so the Most High said he gave us a law concerning that. You there, Brother Yash?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What's your thoughts, man? I'm gonna pull up a passage real quick.
Yeah, it was a whole lot. But see, my thought was basically the devil is using. See, he hasn't changed, and he's using the same trick that he's used from the beginning, offering the women, particularly our women, power. And by virtue of offering it is that, it's like he's trying to say, he's convincing them that they're considered as nothing and that they have uh, no type of value, but he'll give them this value because he's telling them that they're underappreciated and they're believing it. So they'll go for that. And he's saying the way you get power is through sex. That's how you dominate the man.
You know, one of the things that I believe happened um, back, I forget what year it was, but there was a point in time where black men started exiting the church, the Christian church. They started leaving. And so little by little, you know, year by year, you started seeing less men unless they were with families. You saw some men, you know, but you saw a lot of women. And as time went on, you know, the ratio of that started to grow in terms of women to men. But for the most part, a lot of men left Christianity. And so shortly after that is when this happened. Some of y'all might think I'm saying it's because of a man. I'm saying it's because of a man that women left church. And I'm saying that that's a major part of the reason why a lot of women left church or left Christianity.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, you see, one of the things that they were doing was a ritual for a woman to get with a mate. And like I said, I'm assuming that's a male. But it's ironic that shortly after there was a major shift in terms of men leaving the church that this happens. Now, I asked a question about what do you all think that that symbol look like? I see a couple of people answered. Let me see. A couple of people said it looks like a female reproductive organ. All right, I'm gonna accept that for the sake of the platform and keeping things in order. But we all understand what that is. All right, so we're talking about the divine feminine from the female aspect and how men worship the divine feminine. I showed you that symbol because now what we're going to get into is actual video showing that that's what the divine feminine is all about from the male aspect, the worship of the female sex organ, reproductive organ, right? Same thing. All right. In the last video we did, we showed you roots in terms of location, how the divine feminine is a Hindu concept. It's rooted in the Hindu. And we all know in terms of location where that is, that's over in India. All right. I want to share a video real quick. Let me get it pulled up. If you want to share some more thoughts, bro, go ahead. I'm gonna pull this video up.
Mm. Yeah, I got caught up, man. These they wilding in the chat. Jabroni's out of control. But yeah, because I think men started leaving church from 70s, 80s. They was pretty much out of the church by the end of the 80s. They started going back in the mid to the late 90s, but women primarily uh, dominated, or yeah, pretty much, yeah, dominated, or the church, and they obtained a lot of a power when they was in there, as far as the decision making, and calling the shots, because they was basically, you know they were the foundation. They became the foundation, and that was being carried probably on, well, I know it was being carried on into the homes, and that caused a whole lot of marriage breakups, because the women would come home, and basically they started feeling unequally yoked, because they was bringing their Christian principles into the house, and the man wasn't trying to hear it at that time,
Yeah.
because men was basically done with the foolishness of what was going on in the church. You know what I mean? It was more against our masculinity, made you do a lot of things or take a lot of things that most men ordinarily wouldn't take, for the sake of being saved.
Yeah, we weren't, a lot of men when it comes to Christianity weren't being raised up to be leaders. It was more so just be a man for your household, which that's the beginning of your leadership, you know.
Right.
But it wasn't done in a way to promote uh true manhood. In a way, it was more so, being a docile Christian, you know, just accepting anything, and and that's, like I said, man, that's what I saw a lot. You know, a lot of men in the church got divorced from their wives. A lot of breakups. A lot of that happened in the church. You know, but the church was just always accepting of everything, no matter what you go through. God gonna forgive you. Just ask for forgiveness and keep moving on. You know, and just little by little, you start to see things diminish. But when it comes to this, the male aspect of worshiping the divine feminine, what it basically is men worshiping women and their sex organs. That's what it revolves around. And the location, the headquarters of all of this is in India. All right, I'm gonna show you something real quick. We still under fair use. Share a video real quick. It's about a minute or so. All right, check this out, and I want y'all to tell me what you think about this.
In India, legend has it that the temple of Kamakhya Devi, consort of Lord Shiva, came into existence when the Lord was carrying the corpse of his wife, and her yoni, or the female genitalia, fell to the ground at the spot where the temple now stands. The Ambubachi Mela, the second largest religious congregation of people in the world, is held at the temple every year during monsoon, as the devotees believe that the goddess Kamakhya goes through her menstrual cycle at that time. Therefore, the temple remains closed for 3 days. On the fourth day, the temple reopens, and thousands of devotees and sadhus of all sects make a mad rush to receive the unique and highly powerful prasad, which is small bits of cloth, supposedly moist with the menstrual fluid of goddess Kama.
It's kind of disgusting, right?
Yeah, I remember going to this was when I was young. They was taking me around. I used to preach at these different churches, and I remember this one brother Matthew from India, and I remember he was telling about
India.
that dot on their head, and it was symboling them. But I didn't know it was that deep. But he did tell me about the dot that it was symbolizing when the woman was on her menstrual cycle. It was nasty, disgusting.
So that's the headquarters of it. I'm gonna share another video. We still under fair use. This video is maybe about 2 or 3 minutes long, and it's gonna go more in depth in terms of what this worship is all about. But notice the whole ritual of it. They have a time where everybody comes down, the men and the women, which was when we defined it in the last video. We showed you that the divine feminine is not just limited to the women, it's also the men as well who worship this. But I'm gonna share another video and I want to get y'all's thoughts. We still under fair use. I want to pause this right here because when it comes to all these religions and these beliefs, they like to tie Adam, you know, all of our forefathers because they like you to believe that all religions are the same. But it says given to Adam or Abraham, it has changed from pure white to black from absorbing the sins of the world. All Muslims must take I don't know how to pronounce that, to the Kaaba once in their lifetime and pray in its direction 5 times a day. So this is in Islam as well. All right, I'm gonna play some more.
Itches. Oh, Jesus, fish.
Yeah, I paused that so everybody could kind of get a glimpse at this. It's about to get real intricate. We all know about the fish shape that everybody uses in Christianity and how that symbol goes back to pagan Babylon, and even Rome today uses that. But check this out. All right, check that out. The primitive ceremony of baptismal rebirth often involved being drawn bodily through a giant uni So this was their ritual. And look at the symbols as well. Now, let me show you something. If you can see this symbol right here, it says this is the fish symbol, the female delta, double pointed oval, all right, and the pearl's gate symbol. But this symbol right here, all right, if you look at the Egyptian Ankh, right? For instance, the Egyptian Ankh is the symbol of the opening at the top and the staff at the bottom. They said that that represents the life, the symbol of life. All right. Now, if you look at the breast cancer awareness symbol, if you take this point down and kind of bring my fault, if you take this down and kind of bring it down, it'll round it off a little bit. If you round this off a little bit, this will be the same symbol as the breast cancer awareness symbol, which, in my view, is the symbol of the Egyptian Ankh with the staff removed from the bottom, if that makes sense. But this is the same exact symbol, except if you round this off at the top a little bit. It has the ribbons at the bottom, the bows at the bottom, and the opening at the top. If you look at the Egyptian Ankh, line that up next to the breast cancer awareness symbol, you'll see the similarities in the top part. It's just that on the breast cancer awareness symbol, the bottom part is removed. But check this out. Now we see why a lot of our brothers and sisters are waking up and finding issue with this name. All right. Because look at all of the symbolism and paganism that this name is tied to. You know, even the King James Bible itself, the Apostle Paul speaks of another Jesus. The version I read from says another Yehoshua. So you have a Yehoshua of the Bible, and then you have one of the mainstream. And this is what you're looking at on the screen right here. This is all symbolism representing a form of demonic worship. All right. But it's all tied to the divine feminine. Let's get some more. I'm not going to share the sound anymore, but if you're looking on the screen, you can see they have whole land masses mapped out. You know, we know that certain regions are mapped out like Rome, Washington, D.C., those things. But just imagine the other parts of the world where they have sacred places they go to for this type of worship. There's the symbol that we looked at in the first video from India. Let's get some more. I wanted to chime in on this. It says this sometimes also lacks, sometimes referred to as that P word there is an aniconic representation of goddess Shakti in Hinduism. We looked that up as well. We showed you that the divine feminine is tied to Shakti in Hinduism. All right, so it's all a form of worship that these people are really into, that our people have gravitated to. Our people have gravitated to this form of worship. All right, we're going to get into some more things, but let's get a little more. So this is a Sanskrit word that has been interpreted to literally mean the womb and the female organs of generation. It also connotes the female sexual organs, such as the V word and the U word, the uterus. I'm just kidding y'all, but it's on the screen there, and this is what it's telling you it's about. It's all tied to the divine feminine, and this is what it's about: the worship of the woman's womb, female sex organs. All right, let's get a little more. Brother Yash, you want to chime in? I'm gonna share the rest of this, but I'm not gonna share the sound, so you can chime
I
in.
was just saying, and we got the bird to name some of our little. I've heard little girls called Yanni. You know what I mean?
Wow.
We don't know.
You little girl's named Yanni.
Mm-hmm.
There's the definition. There's the idol, more idolatry. It said that thing was black. Look, it said it was black from all the sin, right?
Mm.
I think it's black from something else.
Mm-hmm.
Man, imagine all the people that have to come, and pay homage and worship this thing, and only the Most High knows, how they actually worship these things in depth, you know. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna share the sound on the rest of it. I think that's it anyway. But yeah, that's more of that. The worship of the divine feminine. Now, what I want to do now is did we didn't read Deuteronomy, did we?
Nah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that now. Deuteronomy 18. I'm gonna start at verse 9, and I'm gonna read down to verse 15. It says, "And when thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination." All right. Some people will say that this making your son to pass through the fire, son or daughter to pass through the fire, is in alignment with what abortion is today. I've heard that comparison being made. Other people have made other connections and examples, but that's one of the main ones that I've heard. In a modern day sense, that's what we're doing. It says, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. Brother Yash, can you do me a favor, bro?
Yeah, what's that?
Can you look up that word divination?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep reading. It says, or a charmer, or a consulter of familiar spirits, or a wizard, all right, or necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh. And because of these abominations, Yahweh thy Elohim doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy Elohim. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, Yahweh thy Elohim have not suffered thee to do so. So have not suffered thee so to do. Yahweh thy Elohim will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. Or what you got on divination?
Hold on, I'm gonna post it real quick. What I do? 1 second. But it says the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means.
So it's like what you call it, fortune telling.
Yeah, it's like your horoscope or trying to find out what they say. Yeah, what he say in Isaiah seeking wizards. You know what I mean? Or trying to find out your future or future, trying to foretell events uh, by means other than through the Most High. You're trying to gain an advantage. And the Hebrew definition of it was kasim, you know. And it says, wow, that's deep. It says, or they use that also for Allah, also divination, including its fee. In other words, you pay, or the reward of divination, divine sentence, and witchcraft, tithes and offerings. I threw that in there, tithes and offerings, because it said the paying the fee to get a word.
So that's divination. All right, I want to. It's talking about fortune telling, observers of times, enchanters, or a witch or a charmer, right? Because you got a lot of people who into the crystals and you know that kind of stuff. There was this brother that I knew. He was deep into that, crystals and different things like that. You know, don't know what his motive was behind it, but he was real heavy into that kind of stuff. You know, but these are the things that the Most High said the nations did. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to deal with another video of the divine feminine, and let me see.
Yeah. While you do that, I want to also read another definition. It's from the Webster's. It says, the art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers.
That's another aspect of it. Supernat. Read that again.
The art you can post. I just put it on in the thing. The art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers, calling down spirits.
I think that's a good definition, but
That's a
I
good
think
one.
that's
That's a good one.
yeah, it is. I think that's still leaving some things out though when it comes to how divination is being used against us, you know, seeing that things already been determined, they're trying to change the course of
Well,
things.
they use what they did. They use the scripture against us by getting us to break the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, and that's a form of divination because they know that the Most High already foretold that if we uh keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, we would be above. But if we break them, we would be beneath. So they just cut right to the chase and always kept us breaking the law because we gave them that secret. We told them that.
Yep. Let me see. Let me see if I can share this. No, I won't do it like that. All right, this video right here is actually a brother who speaks on the divine feminine and his perspective on the Bible and how the Bible is against the divine feminine. And so letting you know that that belief or that aspect is against the word of the Most High. But I'm gonna play some of this. Fair use.
So the whole Bible is a smear campaign against the divine feminine, flat out, point blank, period. From Genesis to Revelation, the current translations and transliterations is a whole full all out attack on the divine feminine. From the lie that Eve let the serpent deceive her when she told the goddamn truth. The serpent told the truth. God told the lie. The Elohim or the Elo that told Adam not to eat from that tree because they say on that. I love this. This is one of my favorite ones that the Christian church like to bring up. They say that because Eve bit from the tree and gave it to Adam, right? Now, they'll never show you anywhere in the book where anybody told Eve, don't eat from the tree. That's not in there. But they will give you the assumption that Eve was told, but they won't ever show you what it. Now, watch what
I want to chime in on that real quick. Brother Yash, you got any thoughts? I want to let you get your thoughts out. He mentioned that nowhere in the Bible does it say that anybody told Eve. However, we know in the records of Adam and Eve, it goes into that. And we see that she also had an understanding of that when with her encounter with the serpent. But what are your thoughts on that so far about the Bible being an all-out onslaught against the divine feminine, and the other point about Eve?
Well, the Bible being an onslaught against the
divine
feminine. That's well, they're gonna always attack the word. You know what I'm saying? To you gotta it says before a man goes and breaks into the house, you know, if a thief comes and he wants to rob a house, he must first come and bind up the strong man. In this case, that's the Bible. He's got to come in and discredit that, and then he's gonna we call it simping,
right,
to justify to justify an act, to justify a woman's act of rebellion. Because what I notice about this divine feminine spirit, no offense, but every woman has it naturally. And because this spirit makes a place for itself, the devil uses I mean, I don't know. So the ladies, y'all gonna have to help me out with this one. It seems as if the feminine feels out of place in a masculine society. So it's always out to make a place for itself. And I think that's where that "I don't need a man" comes from. Yes.
But he also said that nowhere in the Bible does it say anybody instructed Eve not to eat the fruit.
Yeah, but see, it says the Most High, and he's half true, because it says Adam, the Most High he spoke to Adam, told him you should not eat of this or that, this and that. It tells you then Adam spoke to Eve. It just don't tell you what they spoke of. But I'm pretty sure she had said, "What did he tell you?" Because when the serpent came and spoke to Eve and said, has God said that you should not surely die? She said, if you eat the fruit, she said, we should not eat it, neither should you touch it, or you should surely die. So I guess she must got that touch part from what Adam told. Most High told Adam, don't eat it. Adam told him, don't you eat it and don't you touch it.
But what I would like to see is, for a lot of people, because there are people who are understanding of the fact that we're Israelites who still have some of these beliefs.
Right.
You know, I would like to see record of some of these things, like what he's saying. You know, he's gonna say some other things, but then I would like to see record of some of these claims that's being made. You know, it's like we have record.
We got them
of what
somewhere
actually happened, but the record is not good enough. But we can make claims and assumptions that's not on record, you know, that validate our belief. But let me play a little more.
That's not in there. But they will give you the assumption that Eve was told, but they won't ever show you what it. Now watch what Adam did. Now if this ain't no attack on the divine feminine, I don't know what is. Adam punk ass ratted her out as soon as they got caught. He was the first recorded rat on record. Adam. Cause soon as motherfucking the Elo say, hey, didn't I tell y'all don't be eating from that motherfucking tree? That shit gonna wake your ass up to the knowledge of good and evil. He said, what, me? It was the lady, she gave it to me. This bitch you gave me.
So once again, forgive the language, but this is the perspective of how somebody who believes in that, the divine feminine, how they view the Bible. All right, this is how they view the Bible. This is how they view the Elohim of the word of truth. So a lot of people make that claim as well. You know, some people say that Adam abandoned Eve in the garden. And me personally, I don't believe that that's the true outlook on that. I don't believe Adam abandoned Eve. I believe that if Adam really would have abandoned Eve, then he wouldn't have eaten the fruit with her. He wouldn't have taken heed to her voice like the Most High said, and he wouldn't have ate the fruit. Now that would have been abandoning her, because that would have put her in a position to have to be condemned alone. But what Adam was doing was he was telling the Most High what happened. Remember, the Most High or Mashiach, right? He's called the last man Adam. The first man Adam, is through him that sin and death came into the world. All right. So we as men, we have to bear that truth. You know, no matter what our women do or what a woman does, is what we do that ultimately shapes the outcome. And it's good for women to understand that as well, as a means of contributing to the betterment of the outcome. We both, as men and women, need to understand that. But this was the archetype that was set from the beginning. You know, the Most High said it's good for the man not to be alone. Adam sought a mate, so the Most High gave him a mate. But he also instructed them both, and they both failed to heed the instruction. The passage in what is that? Sirach, it says that of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Because everybody that's born into this life is said that, you know, it's given unto man to live once, and after that, the judgment. But we also read that man was created to be immortal. So a lot of people take that position that our forefather Adam abandoned our foremother Eve, when that really wasn't the case. You know, what it was Satan's plot to destroy humanity. He used the woman as a means to bring down Adam, which was truly the image of Elohim in the earth. And I made this point before, showing that the Most High has a lineage in the earth. Satan wants to destroy the image of the Most High, and if he does that, then he can destroy everything else by default. But any thoughts, bro, before I continue?
Now continue on.
Coward ass motherfucker, if you was doing your job in the first place, you wouldn't have never been able to be beguiled, seduced, right? She was beguiled or seduced, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Because Adam was somewhere probably fucking a horse or a cow. Because that's how them motherfuckers get down. That's what they do. Go in the South, you see what I'm talking about.
So once again, forgive the expression. That's not a reflection of us at the salt of the earth, and we're still under fair use. But I wanted to bring that out because this is our people and their expression of the divine feminine as opposed to the scripture. Now, one thing that I mentioned was that I would like to see record concerning some of these claims. And those were some outrageous claims. One thing I want to address or touch on is the fact that a lot of people say that our forefather Adam left Eve in the garden. If he had been doing what he was supposed to do, then that wouldn't have happened, right? Now, this is the record of Adam and Eve, and this is the 15th chapter, and this is going to give us some insight as to what the setup was in the garden. Actually, were they together in the garden, or were they on separate ends of the garden? How did that come about? This is chapter 15. It says, "And Eve said unto them, Here are my children and children's children, and I will relate to thee how the enemy deceived us. When we were guarding the garden, each one the portion that was given to him from Elohim, I guarded my lot, which was wonderful to me, the west and the south. And Satan went to Adam's lot, where the male beasts were, for Elohim divided the beasts to us. All the male beasts he gave to thy father, and all the females he gave unto me." So they were given separate ends of the garden. Eve was appointed one side of the garden, the west and the south, and another portion tells you that Adam was given the east and the north. And if we read further down, it tells you how Satan was able to beguile her. All right, let me see. It says, give me a second. Let me find this real quick. Let me mute out. There's a portion in here it talks about when Eve and Adam were on their sides of the garden, that the angels watched over them. But then there was a time when the angels went up to pray and worship the Most High and appoint to Him. And while the angels left their spots to go worship, this is when Satan came in and was able to get to Eve. Let me see. I think it's, let me see, 16. It says, "And Satan spake to the serpent, saying, Rise up, come to me, and I will tell thee a word whereby thou mayest have profit. And he arose and came unto him. And Satan said to him, I have seen that thou art more subtle than all the beasts, and I have come to counsel thee. Why dost thou eat Adam's meat and not of the fruit of the garden?" So this is when he deceived the serpent. All right. Let me see. It says, "And suddenly the serpent took hold of the wall in the garden, and when the angels ascended to worship Elohim, it came to pass that Satan appeared in the form of an angel, and praised Yahweh like one of the angels. All right, so while she was on her side of the garden, the angels that were on her side watching her, they went up to worship the Most High. And this is when Satan came back, and he appeared in the form of an angel. It's like the Apostle Paul said, as an angel of light, and praised Yahweh like one of the angels. So this is a record showing what happened as to why our forefather was left alone in the garden, or while Satan, I'm not gonna say left alone, but while the enemy was able to get to her in the first place. All right. Now, some people, this may raise some other questions. All right. Some people might say, well, why did the Most High allow that to happen? You know, notice it said that he appeared as one of the angels of Yahweh and worshiping like one of the angels. All right. So just like the Apostle Paul said, how Satan comes as an angel of light. All right, she could have still resisted him, and it's up to us to know and understand and discern these things. Just like she could have discerned this from the simple instruction that the Most High gave. You know, he said, don't eat of the fruit lest you die. The Apostle Paul said, if me or an angel or if anything else come giving you any other gospel, let them be a curse. Any other truth, let them be a curse. But all of this was done, and the Most High had a plan of redemption in mind as a result of that. So to anybody who worships the divine feminine, and these are your beliefs, then we have to show record of these things. We have to show record of our forefather Adam doing the things that you claim he probably was doing. You know, we have to take it this we have to take our approach out of it. You know, a lot of times we like to look at it from the way that we view relationships and interaction in our times with one another, but we have to remove that understanding out of it, because that's a major part of our curse as well. You know, how women view men, how men view women. This is something that, when dealing with this understanding, it helps you understand why we deal with the things we deal with today. So this is really a solution-oriented type of thing. You know, the worship of the divine feminine was set up right from the beginning when our foremother Eve was beguiled by the serpent. When Mashiach, or when the Most High told Adam, because you heeded the voice of your wife and ate from the fruit, cursed are you. Because that's what elevated evil in the earth right in the beginning. So a lot of what we're dealing with in our day and time goes back to that. When we bring these things out, people get offended. You know, they take it personal. When we all have a part to play in this, it's just that both men and women, we have to understand our tendencies. We got to understand our tendencies as men to want to yield to our women when we shouldn't. And women have to understand their tendencies to want to move ahead without dealing with the covering or the instruction of the man. This is what caused the imbalance in the beginning. This is what caused the failure that we see today. And so we have to get back to the Most High's original plan. So this worship of the divine feminine entails both men and women. And this was something that the enemy put in place from the beginning of time. All right. But any thoughts, Brother Yash, before we break off?
No, I think you covered it pretty good. Yeah, I think you covered it good. Let's take a little break before we get back.
All right, we're gonna take a break, y'all. Shalom. I'll be right back. Let me know what y'all think in the chat too. We'll be right back. I want to thank everybody for your time tonight. Hope this was edifying. And like I said, use it as a solution. This information is to help us understand who we are, why we're in the condition that we're in. It's like the Apostle Paul said, everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning, you know. So when we want to heal, when we want to get things right, we have a record. We have divine understanding from the Most High, discernment, and we have His Holy Spirit of promise. I want to remind you, brothers and sisters, about Kingdom Conversations Wednesday nights, hosted by Brother Cleo. Look forward to seeing you, brothers and sisters, there. We got Brother Kadar's YouTube channel. Go over and like, sub, and share those videos as well. Those that you see edifying, feel free to do that. You got Wake Up Jacob, this platform, like, sub, and hit the notification bell for Side of the Earth platform and the Beginners channel by Ibri Ben Yaakov. Go over and hit the subscribe button. And also the website, trueebri.com. All right, visit. If you haven't already, go over and get you something nice. All right. I want to thank everybody who has went on to the site. Thank you for the feedback as well. Brother Yash, give me your closing thoughts, man. I wanna thank you, bro, for riding out with me tonight and doing this work. Give us your closing thoughts.
When we deal with this subject, and I'm glad that you took it from the aspect of the divine feminine, because whenever dealing with the subject between male and female, I would say, like, most, if not all, of the women in this chat are good Hebrew women, or striving because of their love for the Most High, and their love for their men and their love for the nation. However, whenever dealing with this issue, and you start talking about, the negative aspects of, I'm going to just say, I got something stuck in my chest. The negative aspects of male-female relationships, no matter how wonderful, good a woman may be, she not always, but they'll take it, the majority take it as an attack. You can be the best woman in the world and take it, and when we're talking about the most raunchy, shake your booty type women's out there, and you take it as an attack on yourself. So what I believe the lesson to take from tonight is, and this is for, I'm speaking to the women for this one, know that there is a spiritual side of you that, or or it's a spirit within you, just for the fact that you are a woman and you are feminine. And shoot, I would even cape with this divine, if I may, okay, or a part of that divine, or that feminine nature, which is divine in you. It's still a spirit. And if you know that you are not that one, that rebellious natured woman, know that it's the feminine spirit within you that is fighting to protect itself. And it doesn't even have your best interests at heart. This spirit can be destructive. This spirit will destroy families. It will destroy individuals. It will destroy even its own children for its own self-preservation. So I'm saying we must take that, because many of us came out to church, and I remember some of the most strongest prayer warriors were the women. Some of the ones who you will go to battle with, because they say they made books of what happens when women pray and things like that. It's the, the that there's the special power that a woman has in her prayer life, but we all must be aware of our sinful nature side. And we must also be aware of when something is against the Most High. If it's battling a correction that don't even apply to you, something wrong with that picture. For the man, we must control our members, because here we got a man, and this is how wicked us dudes can be. We'll sit over here and encourage your bad behavior just so we can get the yoni. We don't care if you got a husband. We don't care if you got a family. We just as bad as that divine feminine. But the difference is we don't have, well, I don't know. We don't have that spirit. We're not born feminine, or with that feminine. If you're a male, I don't think you have it. I don't know if you're gay or not, but and even I don't know. I can't speak for that aspect. It ain't trying to. What I'm trying to say is that maybe or that spirit knows what a man wants, because he pretty much wants one thing. And that spirit is so against you that it allow a man to corrupt you, just like it allowed Satan to corrupt Eve in the garden. Like I say, this spirit is self-destructive. And if I could give out an assignment for all those ladies in the house, for all the ladies in the house tonight. Recognize that. You know, we want to recognize marine spirits and all these other spirits, but recognize the spirit that was in you. Take hold of whatever the lessons that has come out tonight and recognize it and check that within you, or check that within really the other women. Make it known and teach them. I'm giving out assignments tonight. Teach them about this divine feminine. Teach them that this spirit is out to make a name for itself, make a place for itself. Teach that this spirit is even against you. This spirit promises you power, but this spirit will go out there and sleep with any man and destroy everything you touch, because this is a selfish spirit. And for us guys, we need to control our desires. Control wanting to get out there and fornicate. Man up and be a man. Stop being afraid because you don't want to offend a woman, or you want something from her. Let's walk in our roles and let's keep the laws, let's keep the statutes, let's keep the commandments. Know that we have different jobs. Adam was on guarding one side, Eve was guarding the other. And I liken tending the garden or keeping the garden as keeping the laws and the statutes and his commandments. That's what I got pretty much out of this. Because I what I got out of this tonight was an understanding that this is something that even, that even needs to be further explored. This divine feminine, because this divine feminine right now, I believe, is one of the last bastion that the enemy is trying to use to destroy the unity in our nation.
Amen to that. Amen, amen. Real powerful. And like he said, this is for understanding, coming to solutions, for those who want it, for those who want to understand. Not everybody going to be receptive to it. That's fine with me, but I know what worked for me, in helping me understand, and I encourage brothers and sisters to do the same. I want to give a shout out to my other Salt of the Earth brothers, Brother Bunya, Brother Cleo, Brother Kadar, Brother Hal. Shalom and blessings to you, brothers. I want to thank everybody for your time tonight and your fellowship. I want to give our praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, to His Son, and to the Holy Spirit. This has been a Salt of the Earth Productions. Thank you, brothers, for your time. Have a good night. Our praises to the Most High. Hallelujah.
Everywhere I go, the children rising. Everywhere I go, the children rising. I saw them just rise up. The wicked running, I saw them just rise up.